See, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
When Nicki Minaj praised Donald Trump and J.D. Vance on a Turning Point USA stage, the internet froze. Because this wasn't just politics, it was a complete shift from everything her image once represented to the public. And this is the story of how Nicki Minaj arrived at her most fragile moment yet, and the unanswered question of whether recovery is still possible. Before that, let's delve into how we got here. You see, Nicki Minaj didn't enter the industry quietly, she stormed it. Her early mixtapes in the late 2000s showcased something rare: sharp lyricism, theatrical alter egos, and a command of rap that felt intentionally disruptive. When she signed with Young Money, she quickly stood out in a label dominated by men. Then came Pink Friday in 2010. This album brought her forward as a mainstream artist, with tracks like Bang Bang, Anaconda. Among other notable ones, Nicki became a global star. By the early 2010s, Nicki Minaj wasn't just successful, she was untouchable, or so it seemed. Born in Trinidad and Tobago, Nicki Minaj moved to the US as a child and has said her family initially entered without legal status before later gaining residency. She grew up in Queens in a working-class household, watching her mother navigate abuse and instability while building a new life, a background that makes her eventual rise in music even more striking.
You say 3 nice things about Nicki Minaj.
Can you?
As her influence grew, so did tension. Her feud with Mariah Carey on American Idol introduced mainstream audiences to a more confrontational Nicki.
Oh, darling, may I express this to her as a singer? I just feel like
Clashing egos on the American Idol judging panel. Mariah and Nicki made jabs at each other, both questioning each other's singing ability. Even though it wasn't so personal, the media as usual hyped it and amplified it into a full-blown diva showdown. Looking back, the Nicki and Mariah beef wasn't as deep as it seemed because Nicki Minaj in an emotional speech at the VMAs, as she shouts out the icons who gave her huge opportunities, mentioned Mariah Carey.
And then I wrote people who gave me huge opportunities that I'll never forget. Kanye West, Beyonce, Madonna, Mariah Carey, Eminem, Britney Spears, Rihanna.
Their beef was probably not that deep, but her beef with Lil' Kim was. Because around the same time, comparisons and conflicts with Lil' Kim sparked debates about originality and legacy. Lil' Kim accused Nicki of stealing her iconic style, swag, and image, starting with mixtape covers, homage to Kim's hardcore pose, colorful wigs, and sexual persona.
I never heard it.
You need, because you're not trying.
I used to hear her pay homage, like she said. She used to say, "I love Kim, I love Foxy."
You're not trying to do your homework. That's why, boo boo. You got to do your homework.
This kind of seemed true to a lot of people because back in the 90s, Kim was one of the only female rap artists who took female rap to another level. Kim felt disrespected as the pioneering Queen Bee, while Nicki rose as the new dominant female rapper, refusing to pay proper homage. Nicki also briefly beefed Remy Ma, another female rapper. They recorded diss tracks for each other all over who truly held the title of Queen of Rap. The back and forth didn't last forever, but it planted a seed, one that would follow Nicki for years. Nicki's biggest beef wasn't behind her, it was just getting started with Cardi B.
Songs. This woman is at the best stage in her career and she's out here throwing bottles and throwing shoes? You put your hands on certain people, you gon' die. Period.
The year 2017 brought a new challenger who exploded onto the scene, Cardi B. With Bodak Yellow hitting #1, Cardi became the first female rapper to do that solo since Lauryn Hill. Suddenly, everyone's comparing her to Nicki, whispering about who's the real queen. Everything seemed to me fine until their collaboration on the song Motorsport. Rumors flew that Nicki changed her verse after hearing Cardi's, and they filmed separately for the video. Cardi, in an interview, spoke about their collaboration.
I heard the track.
Right.
Her verse was in Finnish. Well, it's not the verse that is on.
This did not sit well with Miss Nicki, and in an interview also spoke about it.
The first thing out of your mouth when someone asks you about a Nicki Minaj feature is, she changed her version. Excuse me?
After the New York Fashion Week happened in September 2018, Cardi B ended up with a knot on her forehead. The two still continue to engage in Twitter wars, till date, with the recent ones being more personal. Nicki's argument was that Cardi did not acknowledge her properly as she should. Remember, Remy Ma was also offended when she also claimed Nicki did not fully give her the credit as the first queen of rap.
Nicki Minaj is sparking a firestorm over what she's saying about the COVID vaccine. The rapper skipped the Met Gala last night because they required everyone to be vaccinated, and she is not.
In 2021, Nicki Minaj became a global headline, not for music, but for tweets. Her comments about COVID-19 vaccines, including a viral story involving a friend of a cousin, sparked international backlash. Health officials responded publicly. News outlets debated misinformation. Social media erupted. For many, this was her biggest cancellation moment yet. But Nicki didn't retreat. She pushed back, questioned authority, and leaned into skepticism, further polarizing her audience. Some fans left, many others stayed. Another cancellation period will be her feud with Megan Thee Stallion. It started cute. Back in 2019, they collabed on the smash Hot Girl Summer, Megan gushing over Nicki as her idol. The two interacted on Instagram Live, and it was full of love, so it seemed.
So it's fine. These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start.
Things soured quick, and rumors say it kicked off when Megan teamed with Cardi B on WAP in 2020. By 2023, Nicki dropped subtle shots in red Ruby Das Lee's. Lines like, "I don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeves," a clear Stallion jab. And in January 2024, Megan unleashes Hiss. In one of the lines, she said, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's law," referencing the sex offender registry law. Fans, and Nicki, knew it was aimed at her husband Kenneth Petty, a registered offender who Nicki received a lot of backlash for marrying in 2019.
Leave with this. You should have never married him. Because now you've ruined everything about what your brand could be. Again, you're never going to stand a chance when you're with a man who pulls a knife at rape point.
The Megan's Law was also a shot at her brother Jelani Mirage, who was in 2017 convicted of predatory sexual assault against a child. Nicki dropped Bigfoot, mocking Megan's foot, after being shot back in 2020 by rapper Tory Lanez. This sparked a lot of controversies, and this did not sit well with a lot of people, as she received a lot of backlash for it. This was because public sympathy largely moved away from Nicki, especially as the conversation expanded to include power dynamics, solidarity among women in rap, and responsibility and influence. For the first time, the idea that Nicki might be outpaced by the culture itself felt real.
If can't no weak ass, motherfucking clown ass, motherfucking nigga bring you the fuck down, makes the motherfucking noise, cause you niggas are so fucking weak. Y'all got the audacity to be intimidated by a bad motherfucking queen and get your motherfucking feelings hurt. But it's old motherfucking K, cause Barack needed a Michelle, bitch, and Bill needed a motherfucking Hillary, bitch. You better pray to God you don't get stuck with a motherfucking Melania.
Just as questions about her place in the culture reached a peak, Nicki made an unexpected pivot, away from music and toward global politics. You see, for years, Nicki Minaj had been openly critical of the Trump administration, often aligning herself with progressive cultural spaces. That perception shifted in November 2025 when she appeared at a United Nations meeting to speak in support of Christians in Nigeria facing ongoing persecution.
I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief.
While her UN appearance raised eyebrows, it was still largely viewed as situational rather than ideological. Then came the moment no one expected. Nicki Minaj appeared at conservative political event Turning Point USA alongside Erica Kirk and publicly praised figures associated like President Trump and his vice J.D. Vance, and even referring to him as an assassin, triggering backlash from longtime fans.
Young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
Nicki was born in Trinidad and Tobago and moved into the United States as an illegal immigrant with her parents. That history now sits in sharp contrast with the Make America Great Again movement she appeared alongside, one defined by hardline immigration crackdowns, mass deportation rhetoric, and policies championed by Donald Trump that would have likely targeted families like hers. For many fans, that contradiction became impossible to ignore. The backlash was intensified by the fact that Nicki Minaj has historically aligned herself with LGBTQ+ spaces and audiences. She has appeared on RuPaul's Drag Race as a guest judge, openly celebrated drag culture and repeatedly acknowledged that a large portion of her fan base is gay. At different points in her career, she even described herself as a gay rapper.
What do you think it's going to take for us to finally get a gay rapper? Like, what is going to happen?
I am a gay rapper. You got one.
Yeah!
We
love you, Nicki!
This statement was in the sense that her music, performances, and persona were deeply embraced by queer communities. For years, her concerts, lyrics, and public statements positioned her as a figure of empowerment for LGBTQ+ fans, particularly at a time when visibility mattered. That history made her recent proximity to conservative movements, many of which oppose transgender rights and LGBTQ+ protections, feel like a sharp break rather than a gradual shift.
Be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. There's nothing wrong with being a boy.
How about that?
Headlines still questioned her alignment, and fans accused her of betrayal. Many fans have ditched her, and very recently a petition has been launched on change.org to deport Nicki back to her country. While it's very early to say Nicki has been totally canceled, this has really affected her career as a female artist, but a comeback is still possible. Thank you for watching. If you want more deep dives into the stories shaping culture, power, and legacy, subscribe so you also become timeless.